History Below the Pines presents The Storyteller's Collection. Episode 1 The Roots of the Mission. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you are standing in the heart of the Black Hills. Above you, the ponderosa pines are swaying, whispering the secrets that are over a century old. But the real story isn't in the wind. It's beneath your boots. It's in the flooded mine shafts, the rotting foundations, and the ghost towns that the forest is slowly trying to take back. Hi, I'm Levi Kessler, and this is History Below the Pines. For years, my team and I have been documenting the history that the brochures do not tell you about. This is the first episode of our Storyteller's Collection, and today I want to take you back to where it all started and tell you exactly why we do what we do. So, a little bit about who I am. I am a South Dakota native. I grew up in Aberdeen, South Dakota, and ended up in Spearfish, right in the shadows of the Black Hills. I've always been a curious person, but History Below the Pines didn't start in the library for me. It actually started at a very young age. I was given the book called Black Hills Ghost Towns by Watson Parker as a young boy, and I remember opening up the first pages of that book and seeing the abandoned ghost mines and ghost towns and stories of stolen stagecoaches and the cowboys and the miners. I was infatuated. What little boy wouldn't be infatuated with lost gold, abandoned mines, and history? I think we all can say that we grew up watching the old Wild West movies, and for me, the form of that was this book. But as I grew up, I would focus on Black Hills history. In middle school, I did research projects on Black Hills history. In high school, I wrote research papers on the history of Deadwood. I even reached out to an author. Her name's Bobby Sago, and she has written numerous books on Black Hills history. And at one point, I was thinking of writing my own book. And maybe that's still in the future, and maybe it's not. Let's just see where this takes me and where we go from here. But I often get asked from time to time, where did the name History Below the Pines come from? And that is a great story, and I'm here to tell you that today. So I remember sitting deep underground in the abandoned mine with a group of friends. We were exploring, with permission of course, and we just stopped and looked up. Through this very thin crack in the ceiling, we could see what looked to be literal roots of a pine tree reaching down towards us. And I recall someone in the group saying, "We're documenting history, and we are literally below the pines." And that is really how the name was born. Right then and there. History Below the Pines. And that's truly the story on how we got our name. Now, I want to talk about the team and the mission. So, a lot of History Below the Pines pops up as my name, Levi Kessler, and the truth is, it's more than me. We are a dedicated group of friends who aren't afraid to get dirty, hike for miles, and crawl into spaces that, let's be honest, haven't seen a flashlight in 80-some years. Our mission is simple but urgent: to preserve and protect the vanishing legacy of the Black Hills' earliest boom and bust cycles. We look for the gold, silver, and tin mines from the 1800s to the 1900s and the foundations of company towns that once housed hundreds of families and now house only shadows. We search out the history, and we help research it, and we help document it. Our main goal is to preserve these places so that the history is around for years to come. We know that history out here in the Black Hills is fading quickly, And if we don't document what's left now, there's not going to be any documentation in 10 years. A lot of this history is fading super fast. So we took it upon ourselves to work with these landowners to make sure that this history truly lives on for years to come. Now, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the way we work and the ethics and the permission of History Below the Pines, because that's another big question we get. Now, there's a lot of urban exploring out there on the internet. Often you'll search YouTube and you'll find abandoned mine videos or abandoned buildings and urban explorers in the big cities trespassing, and that's what we do not do. You know, what sets us aside, or what sets us differently from those channels, are one of our core pillars of History Below the Pines, which is ethical exploration. Most of the history left in the hills is not on public land. In fact, much of it is on private. We do not trespass. We do not go on the lands without permission. We don't cheat the system. No, we don't do any of that. We spend weeks, sometimes months, if not a year, tracking down landowners. We email, we send text messages, we call them on the phone. Sometimes we even get invited to come over and sit on their porches and talk to them. But we are there to ask for their stories and for their permissions. And here's why we do it that way. Respect. We honor the property rights of the people who live there now. The collaboration, the research, and the documentation. Often, these landowners know that they have a old hole in the ground, but they don't know it was a major silver producer in the 1890s or in the 1900s, or maybe it was a gold mine or a ghost town. We are here to help them uncover the narrative of their own land. Documentation efforts, we record everything from videos, photos, and stories before nature quickly reclaims it. Once a mine collapses, it's gone. Or a wooden cabin rots away, it's gone. That piece of South Dakota history is then gone forever. So if we don't do it now, if we don't preserve the history now, what's going to be left? And that's why we are working on this project urgently and carefully and respectfully, because the time is now, the history is now, and we need to preserve it now. So when we started, I didn't know if anyone would really care about this project. I thought it'd just maybe be me and a few other history buffs, but 2025 really changed everything. Over the last year, from December of 24 to December of 25, History Below the Pines actually reached 5.7 million people. Think about that. Nearly 6 million people saw our social media content, watched a video of an old mine exploration, looked at one of the photos we posted. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. That we had over 5 million views alone on Facebook and more than 1 million views on TikTok. It's just mind-blowing that many people would be interested in what we do. And it's a little bit emotional, to be honest with you. I feel like there's a younger Levi that if I could tell him what he's doing now, he would be infatuated. He would be so surprised. So I'm just out here living the dream, doing what I love to do, helping tell the story of these places, of these mines, of these ghost towns. I feel like the history tells me. It tells me that the people are hungry for something real. In a world of digital noise, there's something grounding about seeing the physical remains of the people who built this state and the Black Hills and the territory, we should say. Whether it's 126,000 people who saw our top Instagram post, or the folks who stopped me in Spearfish, or just anywhere in the Black Hills in general to talk about a specific video or a specific content that I posted, the message is clear. This history matters. So, what to expect from the Storytellers Collection? Let's talk about that. So, why this podcast? You could go on to listen to any other podcasts. There's millions of podcasts out there, right? Why would you listen to our podcast? On YouTube and TikTok, you see the visuals. But there are stories that need more than the 60-second clip. There are interviews with descendants of miners, deep dives into the old sanatoriums of the past, and technical details on the ghost towns and mines and how they worked. In the Storytellers Collection, we are going to slow down. We're going to talk about the mines, the ghost towns, and forgotten camps. We'll bring in the experts, the landowners, and the guys who are in the trenches with me. So, to end this first podcast episode, I want to thank you. Thank you for being part of this journey. Whether you have been with us since Season 1, you've came to our talks, you've been one of the millions who just discovered us this past year, we are so glad you are here. Thank you for letting us tell the history of the Black Hills and beyond. Remember, history isn't just in the past. It's right beneath us now. I'm Levi Kessler, and we will see you on the next episode of the Storytellers Collection by History Below the Pines.